Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and episode. Welcome back to another season of Therapy with your girl, Pink J Stone, baby. You already know what time it is. Come on in the room, baby. Yes. We got a little music tune, honey. Essentially, so the girls be flagging me and stuff on the book. But I don't all the rights to this music just in case they won't say that too. Yes, come on in the room, baby. It's been a long month without y'all. Alright, let's challenge that. Try to get on to it. I got Ubering, y'all know it's what I usually do on Saturdays. It's Uber a little bit, honey. All right, there we go. Bring that on down. Okay. As I said before, welcome back to another season of Therapy, episode 1 of season 9. Like I was saying, at the end of last season, I was gonna probably stop at season 10, but I was talking to a friend. Somebody had gave me some words of encouragement. Like, girl, keep it going because it's cute. So I was like, well, we're going to do that. So I'm just going to keep it going. Okay, yeah. Because I just wrote. Well, I didn't write it this morning. I wrote it yesterday, but I put it on my tablet this morning. I hope y'all enjoyed while we was away. Did y'all catch that little dribble right there, honey? Mm-hmm. Moving on. Okay. I'm just reading it over the things. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this with birthdays. Sir, you're going to have to call me. You have my number. Call me. So, we can talk. Okay, whatever. We'll talk about it later on. Okay, Okay, let's get into it with birthdays. Per usual. We want to say happy birthday to Big Boy of Outkast. We want to say happy birthday to the Queen of Comedy, Lunel. We want to say happy heavenly birthday to Anthony Johnson. Happy birthday to Terry Crews. Happy birthday to Miles Truitt, aka B Mickey off BMF. We want to say happy birthday to Cameron. Happy heavenly birthday to the mother of civil rights, Rosa Parks. Happy birthday to Tim Mellows. Happy birthday to Tabitha Brown. Happy birthday to Lady Rage. And last but not least, happy birthday to Brandon Hammond. He played a Little My on Soul Food. So once happy birthday to him, I believe he should be like 38, 39, something like that. We should be closer to age somewhere. 39 because he turned 38 last year. I hate when she does that. Okay, let's go on. Back there. Okay, there we go. Get that part situated the way it should be. Okay, there it is. All right. Let me run on that, honey, because she said she want to slip back again. Okay. Okay, let's get into it with Celebrity Gossip Corner, per se. Okay. So as we was on break last week, last weekend, 2 weekends ago, last weekend, we lost two Hollywood icons, and that was one Catherine O'Hara, who played who's best known for her roles in Schitt's Creek and Beetlejuice and Kevin's mom on Home Alone. So she passed on last weekend. So we want to say RIP to her, and our condolences are with her family at this time. As I always say, praying for them. We also lost the day after her. We lost Grady DeMond Wilson, which is best known for everybody's favorite dummy from Sanford and Son. He passed last week at 79. I say RIP to him and condolences to his family. And then we want to say RIP to one of the Chicago legends, one of my TTs, Miss Caprice, who passed on this week. So we want to say RIP to her. And when people like that in the community pass away, it's always safe to say, like, to me, it's always safe to say, like, we praying for not only her family, but the lives of people that she touched in the community, the people who she impacted there, because she had a lot of nieces and nephews and sisters, play sisters, and family members out there, that she helped rear and, teach us the way, hanging up north on, on the corners and things. Not like, that, just hanging out. We want to say, condolences to our family and to the community as well. We also want to say condolences. This was just about yesterday. To DJ Young Slade. He is the son of Little John. He passed away this week. Little John announced that he passed away this week on Thursday. Ooh, so I can see shit. Okay. Going down. Because this is a multi. What's been going on, why I've been gone. That's one story I didn't write down. I think there's one story I didn't write down. I'll figure it out once I get into it. Okay, so okay, ooh, my throat. All right, I did write that down. Okay. So let's get into it with it. Let's get, oh, Jesus. That's that vibe I'm drinking, baby. Okay, so let's get into it. So they have announced, okay, so first they announced the season ending for, what they say after this season, it'll be no more. That's the Sherry Shepherd show. Was going off, and then they also announced Kelly Clarkson. Hey Jahari, Kelly Clarkson show is ending also too. So this will be their last season. So that's they both be going off, and so they were saying that in light of them going off, that it's possible that Jennifer Hudson is going to get canceled next. So she's waiting on her letter to say if she's renewed for the next season or not. Well, I'm thinking about it, and I see Jahari name. I want to slight plug her. Next week, we will be doing the Love Out Loud Ball at Chicago State from, I believe, 5 to 10. Of course, your own true Phoenix J will be performing. Phoenix J Son will be performing, and also Homeboy Fabulous. He's always a great sign to work with. Solomon's always a great sign to work with, too. But we'll be at Chicago State next week for the Love Out Loud Ball. That should be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to see the kids there. That's why I was glad Jahari had popped in, so I could put that shameless plug in there, baby. I also need to talk. I'll talk to Jahari later about that, but hopefully you'll be at the ball, and I can talk to you about possibly coming on the show and doing a sit down or something with me. That'd be real cute for the season. Okay, so moving back in. So we want to talk about Ray J. So Ray J, I don't know if I talked about this at the end of last season. No, I was talking about Ray J, but I didn't talk about this part. But Ray J announced during the season break that he had, I didn't talk about him being in the hospital for pneumonia. So with that came, he said when he got out, he said that his heart was only beating at 26%. Excuse me. Now they say it's only 25%. So they said like he only has a few months to live. And they were saying like possibly give him a defibrillator or a pacemaker to help him, prolong life. But Ray J, I don't know if that's something that he may want, but we definitely want to keep him in our prayers, whatever's going on. And I was reading something this morning that was saying like Brandy had paid all his hospital bills. Him being in the hospital last week. Let me move this out the way because you girls keep coming in and stuff, and I keep looking, and it distracts me. Brandy had paid all his hospital bills, so that was a good big sister to step in and do that for her brother. They were saying like, he may not have, long. And then Princess Love went in because he was saying that part of that is because he can't see his children, so that's part of the reason why he's having those problems. So Princess Love stepped in and amended her order of protection against him to where he had visitations with his children. I believe it's supervised visitations. But either way, a step is a step, honey. Anything you can do to, take stress off of him is great. So like I said, we want to keep him in our prayers. I ain't looked down once when the teleprompter while I was tablet while I was doing that story. Okay, da 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 da. Now I gotta refine myself. Okay, so let me talk about this. So Lauryn Hill, I don't know if anybody watched the Grammys last Sunday, but they were amazing. From the performances and stuff that I saw were amazing. What was I going to say? So last week, to open the Grammys, they had a tribute to D'Angelo with Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean. They did an amazing job, and a host of other singers. It was really beautiful. I got to see it. It was cute, but I'm trying to think her name. Lauren from the Breakfast Club calls Swaybo Twain, which is D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son, and she was trying to see how do you feel about the tribute or whatever that they're doing for your father. And he said, well, baby, I haven't been invited to that. He said, Grammys asked me nothing to come. Could they get anything or nothing? He said, so I don't know how to feel about that. So after he shared that with her, she reached out to the Grammy committee and she said, well, listen, he says he has not received an invitation to the Grammys and y'all should fix that. So they said, well, we tried to call him several times, but his phone was not working, quote unquote, was not working when we, I'm pulling this because this is, I think, what I had for the show for today. Did I? That's next week's show. This can be today's show. Because a lot of times that show is already wrote. It's sitting on my computer at work. Okay, anyway. So yeah, they were saying, so like we tried to call him, but we couldn't find a working number for him. And he was like, that's BS because you found a working number for me. So they said, okay, we're gonna do our best to reach out to him about him coming to the Grammys. So unfortunately, they did not reach out to him about coming to the Grammys. So he was like, well, it is what it is. So he just kind of took the L and went on about his business. But it was a great tribute. And at the end of it, they had Angie Stone on it. So I guess that was how they made up for not inviting him, is to put Angie Stone at the end of the tribute. And some other people who we had lost last year. Some other musicians that we had lost last year. Wait a minute. Huh? Okay. Now, every time it resets itself, I have to go down and refine everything all over again. Okay, so Kid from Kid and Play, he recently shared that he had a heart transplant. He was, again, like Ray J, he was having heart failure. And he went on ahead and he got the transplant. He said that was like last summer. And he said because of that, he's doing great. So hopefully they can do something like that for Ray J, pull a rabbit out the hat. That would be great because I would love to see Ray J around, not just for the shenanigans, but because I think he's a wonderful young man. Is this really what I'm wrapping up with? Wow. Okay. So let's get into it. So it was an interview with Keke Palmer, and she was on, I think, like one of them, like, really, really, that's my team move. She's going off. I got some stuff in my car I need to get next week. Anyway, I'll probably get it today. She was on one of those, puppy shows on the podcast. She was saying that they asked her if she would ever consider getting married again? And she said, absolutely. She said, but my thing with marriage is, she said, I want it to be him in his corner and me in my corner. So she was like, I would like for us to I would like to marry somebody, but I would want him to have his own house and me to have my own house. And some people are like that. We know Angela Bassett and her husband, not Angela Bassett, sorry, they live together. Not Angela Bassett, who was that? They got a husband and he lived, Shirley Lee Ralph. Her husband, they stay in two different places. She stayed in California, I believe he's in Washington. And she said that was a decision they made because he's always, in Washington, and she's always filming something in California. So, every now and then they meet in the middle and hang out and do what they have to do. And he goes about his business, she goes about business. And that has worked for them. They've been together for like 20 years. 20 plus, I believe, 20 years or 20 plus years. So if that works for you, that works for you. I know Miss Pat was saying that her husband stay in. She has her own room. He has his own room. And she said that works out for them because they've been married so long, and you always don't want to, see your partner like that. So she's like, so he got his room, I got my room, and it is what it is. Understandable. Some people can do that. Some people cannot do that. Like some people can have sex and not consider after we get done having sex that it's a relationship, and just move about their business and life. So if different strokes for different folks, baby. So you just never know how things look or may look or may not look to somebody else. Let me feel this up. I'm done. My box is finished. This was brought to you by Vibe. Slow connection, okay. Not talk. While she rebooting. It's brought to you by Vibe. The little box will get you a long way in life. 12% alcohol, honey. So I did not bring the show out I wanted to do today. But luckily enough, I set this show out earlier in the week. Because I was going to do this for Valentine's Day. But I have written a Valentine's Day show, which is like do's and don'ts on Valentine's Day, like ways to stay safe, I'm also doing that for a group for my participants for the 3MV I do during the week. So I will, next week it'll be all lovey and whatever. And I have a new banner to go in the back. It's going to be sickening. I can't wait till y'all see it. So this week, I'm going to talk about this. Because I suffer from this, and some people may suffer from this, but some people may not suffer from it, may go through it. And that's how much love is too much when it comes to people. So that, like, not only your partner or your friends or your whatever. Some people say, I feel like my love language is giving to people or doing for people or helping them out or whatever. And that's okay. If that's what your love language is. Some people may say, like, girl, I'm very standoffish. I don't want to be bothered. I'm this, that, and the third. Everybody loves different. And that's okay. How you love may not be how somebody else loves. So, okay, yeah. So that's the topic for today, is that. So, okay. Love itself isn't a problem. How it's expressed and whether it's healthy is what matters. When it comes to healthy love, these are things that you want to do. One will be, love is supportive when it respects boundaries, emotional, physical, time, and personal space. Allows both people to be independent. Is reciprocal, not just on one side, but on both. Encourages growth, honesty, and accountability. Doesn't require you to lose yourself to keep the relationship. Healthy love, I care about you and I care about me too. So that's a lot of times some people don't know how to say that. I care about you, and as much as I care about you is as much as I care about me. So I have to make sure that I'm balancing both things out at the same time, and that's okay. To fit that brides wear me out, honey. To say that at the same time for both people. Okay, too often, love sounds like if you love them harder, they'll change. They need me, even if it hurts me. I can't say it because it wouldn't be love. It wouldn't be loving. So sometimes that's that one sided thing. Like, I feel like this way. I feel like I'm giving you the world, and you're not giving me nothing. And you have to remember, as I say, in life, the first law of preservation is worried about self. Because if I don't have nothing, I can't give you nothing. So I have to love myself first, Lucius, because then I can love you. All right, moving right along. Okay, a simple self-check. So this is something you can do to check yourself when you find yourself you may think you're giving too much love to somebody. Okay, does this love cost me my peace? Am I showing love without fear or guilt, not choice? Am I pouring into someone who refuses to pour themselves back into me? Would I advise a client or a loved one to stay in this situation? So if you do that checklist and you like, you might need to go back to the drawing board and say, maybe I need to do this again, or maybe I need to shift how I'm finna get ready to love, or what I'm gonna get ready to do with this person. Okay, if it requires self-betrayal, it is no longer healthy. So that's how you know it's not healthy. Excuse me. Oh, this vibe has moved me around, honey. Okay. Especially if recovery or helping roles giving your work with people negatively. Right. Okay, here we go. Giving your work with people, navigating substance use. This is critical. So if you with somebody and they're on a substance and you are aiding them or helping them with their substance, that's what they say, and that's when you need to step back and look at it like, girl, should I really be doing this or should I not be doing this? Okay, so love should support recovery, not replace responsibility. You can care deeply without rescuing. Boundaries are not rejection. They are protection. So sometimes when you enable people, it can hurt them more than you actually saying, listen, we need to get you in a recovery program, or we need to see what we can do about helping you to do better and not just stay on this substance or whatever you're dealing with or whatever you're going through. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back, let consequences happen, and trust someone's ability to choose differently. So you don't have to feel like you always have to help somebody. You can step back and say, hey, you can do this by yourself. Because if I'm doing this alone and I'm feeling a certain type of way, I'm doing it by myself. So why can't you step back and help yourself to do better in life? All right, this is how it ends out. So the bottom line is love becomes too much when it turns into self-abandonment. So when you abandoning, blah, 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 blah. Cocktail time. When you're abandoning doing something for yourself, that's when love is toxic and it's too much. That's when you love too much. Because when I'm saying I only got a grilled cheese in this house, and I'm gonna give them the grilled cheese and not worry about what I'm gonna eat, you need to go back and revisit the board. I want to share this story, and then I don't want to share this story, but I'm gonna share this story anyway because y'all know I always do things that could maybe help somebody else. So here we go. So I was on this week, and this is how I'm going to end out the show. On this week, I don't know if y'all know because of the new regime and what's going on with the government. I work well, y'all know what I do. I'm an HIV counselor. And as me being an HIV counselor, on this week, he ain't home, honey. I was talking to them out there blowing. So this week, my head boss came in. He came in and he said, listen, he said, I want to talk to everybody, whatever. So we sitting there and we talking, and he say, listen, he said, I want somebody to read this letter for me. And so the letter was read, and so what the letter basically stated is that as of January 13th, anybody in social work or substance abuse health work was jobless and had no job because Trump had cut the funding for substance abuse, mental health, LGBTQIA plus funding to help the LGBTQIA people. And all of that had been cut. So as of January 13th, everybody was unemployed. I say, well, damn. I'm sitting there in my mind. I'm sitting down in my mind. And I say, girl, you have $80 in your wallet. What are you going to do with this money? Because you got somebody you potentially talking to, and you can go and y'all can go have fun and spend the money up, and then when the money is gone, then you go get in the bread line and hang out. Go because with the new ruling that you have to volunteer to get a link and all this other stuff. So I said, well, girl, I'm just going to have to go to stand in the bread line. I said, after I spend this money up, I'm going to stand in the bread line and I'm going to tell them not only do I need bread, but I need to volunteer as well. And let that be it, and let the money be gone. And I was like, well, I said, that's all right. That's what I'm going to do. In my mind, that's just what I'm thinking. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to blow this $80. And once I blow this $80, that's going to be it. I'm going to worry about it and let the Lord figure the rest out. So he said, well, listen. He said, we didn't want to worry anybody with what was going on. He said, so we didn't talk to y'all about what was going on. He said, I want somebody to read this letter. Well, he was walking out the door. I want somebody to read this letter. So they read the other letter, and the other letter said, listen, after much review of what's going on in the United States, or what's going on with substance abuse and with mental health and with the LGBTQIA community, we decided that it would be best to bring the funding back and to fund the projects such as methadone clinics, HIV clinics, etc. So he said, so there, everybody still has a job. He said, because we didn't want to worry anybody by telling y'all didn't have a job and would have to find somewhere else to go. He said, so we held it from y'all until the decision was able to be fixed or to be reevaluated. So with that said, sometimes you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like every morning I get up, I pray, and I thank God for sustaining me in terms of church service, for sustaining me career-wise, house-wise, this-wise, that-wise, not knowing that in the background that he's working behind the scenes, putting things together so I can stay gainfully employed, so I can stay with a car, I can stay with a house, I can stay with this, being able to help people when they need me, being able to help myself when I need myself, things like that. So you just never know in life, what could actually be going on. And what with a prayer life or what a connection with God may or may not do. You understand what I'm saying? So that's that. So that's why I told that story, because sometimes we just don't know what's going on in a person's life or what's going on behind the scenes. When people walk around smiling, I could be smiling because I don't want to look like this all the time, or I could be laughing. People laugh I'm gonna talk about different laughter too. I think this season because I learned that I am a person who laughs all the time. I laugh at serious shit. I laugh at non-serious shit. I laugh, and I was like, to me. I was like, that's nervous. That's me. The when I laugh at weird shit like somebody died and I bust out and I laugh, and I be like, that's sick. That's sick. But I've learned that me laughing is because I'm lonely. I don't really, have nobody living with me. I have different, kind of by myself most of the time and mostly to myself, most of the time. As a cancer, I like to be by myself. But understanding that is, me laughing like that is because I'm a little lonely on the inside. I'll talk about that when I get to that show, probably after this Valentine's Day show on next week. That was a lot. Let me go through the thank yous right quick. So I thank y'all for tuning in to this show. I thank y'all for choosing to take this ride with me again for the 9th season. I'm finna talk about what was said to me. I put the flyer, those who see the flyer on Facebook. I put the flyer on Facebook and somebody under it. Thank you, Fred. Well, me and Fred have been on each other for a long time. I supported Fred a few times on some stuff. And he supported me on a lot of stuff. I didn't know if he watched the show. But he told me on the comments, he said, listen, he said, I put the post up and I said, I gave the date, which is today, and he said, listen, he said yes. He said yes, come on in the room. And you sip on your wine. And I was like, oh, that means you watch. And he was like, it's a great show and you don't change that. And you keep doing what you're doing. And that motivated me to say, listen, after season 10, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going because maybe it may pick up. Like, for real. And I could be on Fox Soul like the rest of the girls. Or doing something else like the rest of the children. But everything is in, divine order. And I'm right exactly I'm blah, 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 blah. Wine break. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at the time I'm supposed to be there. So you can't never rush progress or rush being whatever you're going to be in life. With that said, thank y'all for tuning in to this first episode of season 9. Next week will be the Valentine's Day show, which I cannot wait for that. And as I said at the end of every episode, which is everything is a tribute to somebody. So, peace to you. Okay, let me break it down. My brother, God bless, rest his soul, Eric Golden, used to, when he take pictures, if anybody remembers Eric would take pictures like this. And his fingers were so long, and I would always let him like, why do you do this? And he was like, because this is my, my symbol. And I was like, okay. So, doing this show, that's a tribute to him, peace, which is this, and then 2, that's mine. And then you, which just said you who all tune in every week and do what you need to do to help me to want to keep going and doing this and giving me the motivation and the steam that I need to keep going. I'm so appreciative of the feedback. The feedback when I walk through the park and the kids talking about it. The feedback when the kids are on Facebook typing and telling me, when I'm in the club and they're like, oh, we saw the episode and it was everything. Or when I'm at the balls and the kids are like, oh, you keep going and doing what you're doing or whatever. And I'm thankful for all that because that gives me the zeal to want to keep on doing this and doing this show and making it a great show every week. And bringing in more people and doing what I have to do on this season. I'm going to have a few guests. Like I say, I want to talk to Jahari if he's still watching. Probably not because I was sitting one viewer in the room. But hopefully he'll tune in on here, talk to me next week when we get the ball because I would like to bring him on as a guest definitely. Okay, thank you, Twan. Thank you, Twan, for the for giving me a theme song that I don't have to report every week and say I don't own the rights to this music because he made it, so I guess he owns the rights to it. So that would be the Twan's doing. So as I like to say at the end of every week, thank y'all for tuning in. Say the beautiful person, wonderful person that you are. Make good choices. Do what you have to do to keep surviving. And peace to you. Mwah. All right, love you, baby. See y'all next week.